Did y'all know that the people who killed Zack TV been locked up since 2019? When you initially seen Zack TV get killed, everybody was saying, that's what happens when you're a blogger, you in the streets, and you trying to play both sides, as far as him interviewing two ops.
People also said it was T Streets that set him up. People said those things. Here we are, 2019. They arrest the people, the 5 dudes that's responsible for Zack Stoner's death. What did the state do? Drop the case. Mutual combat, because they busted at each other. So if I get attacked and I bust back, it's mutual combat.
T Streets allegedly snitched on somebody. He was just getting out of jail. Zack TV was supposed to be out celebrating with him, partying with him. Don't know if you know about dude being a snitch, but that was the initial target. That's what they wanted.
All of this misinformation I heard nowhere that T Streets was a snitch. So I don't know where that's coming from. Who knows is the question. Everybody act like they know.
The Zack situation, man, it took me a while to, come back to like reality, man. About a year. Like, that had affected me a lot. As the people know, like, Zack got killed leaving one of my events, and he wanted to bring one of his artists. So it's crazy because people was calling me and I was telling them no, that I'm booked up and I wasn't adding no more artists on.
The love put Zack in the position. Like he's saying, he told everybody else, bug off. I don't got no room for you on my set. This is already locked and loaded. We're ready to go. But then you got that guy that calls, that guy that you respect, that you mess with, and you give him a slot. He brings his MC through, and as soon as he leaves your party, he dies. I gotta stick with you, man. Like, man, I looked out for this dude. I wouldn't have done it for anybody else, and now I wish I didn't do it for him either.
It's the same way when I called him and I'm like, man, I need you to interview Hot Boy for me. No matter if he wasn't doing no more interviews, just because King Dave called him, it got done. And
yeah,
it was vice versa. So when he called me, I'm like, man, you good. So that's always on my mind. Like, damn, if he wasn't there, would he still be alive? And I just had to learn to, it ain't your fault, because Allah had a different plan for Zack. And it just took me some time after that. Like, I'm still affected by that. Like, I ain't gonna say every day because I got a strong man and I be trying to block it out. But as you know, he on the wall of my store. So when I walk in, I always think about him. Because I don't never want to forget him. And I just know that pain mentally that I had felt, it was just an uncomfortable place for me, man. And I still haven't thrown any shows. And I was throwing the biggest local shows in Chicago. Literally, I was doing all girls, from Sasha Go Hards to Nomi to Raya. Man, I was packing out venues, 500, 600, 700 people once a month. And nobody in Chicago was doing this for the local artists. And Zack got killed. I haven't did a show since 2018 or a party. The only thing I did was open up culture, and that was something that I had told Zack that I was going to do in 2018.
Man, it's still a big speculation on what went down. It was somebody else in the car with him. Some people say it wasn't meant for him. Some people say, the blogs are going to post whatever on YouTube. Did you ever get down to the bottom of that, though?
Nah, man. It's just all stories. I wasn't there, so.
Yeah.
I hear the same thing that y'all hear. The only people that'll know that story is the people that was in that car, and, they dead right now, so.
They all dead now. Zack, T Streets, AMG Fresh, gone. A truth of Chicago, that you could have 3 dudes inside of a car. On the night one incident happens and takes the life of one, and then the other 2 die in 2 different circumstances. It's families dismembered in this city over this shit. Again, the words of my brother Eddie Rivers, man, if all you gotta do in Chicago to get killed is have potential. That's it.
A week before he passed, I had told him, I said, because he used to go to New York a lot and do interviews. And I was like, yo, you look happy in New York. Like, maybe you should stick around in New York and do your thing out there. But he was like you. He loved his city.
Man.
Chicago's an unfaithful, murderous girlfriend.
Y'all were exactly the same. Y'all stood for y'all city, good, bad, ugly. He was Chicago through and through.
True. And you know what? It's crazy that you say that because I used to tell Zack that. Because You know, Zack was a blend of New York and Chicago. You know,
Yep.
Zack could be like, "What up, Charlie?" or "What's up, B?" You know what I'm saying? "What's up, son?"
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So he loved the whole East Coast culture. He was brought up on it, but he loved the Chicago swag as well. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Bring back a lot of memories, man.
Nah, Charlie.
Yeah, I told Zach, man, what he was doing, bro, he was gonna make a lot of money. But on the back end, he was gonna make a lot of enemies. Cause in Chicago, like you can't go to every hood and record somebody saying, fuck your dad, homie. And then on the back end, you going over there and you recording them saying the same thing. So I knew that was a bad.
We had this conversation. How long could Zach have withstood and kept this going before somebody got salty at the man in the middle? How long could he have kept this going before somebody got in their feelings and said, you know what? Look at him laughing when they say this, this, and that over there. Well, he was laughing when he was by you too, Papas. He was laughing when he was by you too. But it's just the way this city moves, man. You're talking about a city with 2 championship baseball teams, and you can't be a citizen here and enjoy both of them. A cojones, they want you to pick a side. You can't be a Chicago fan. You got to be a Cubs fan or you got to be a Sox fan. This is just the Chicago shit. That's all it is. It's just Chicago shit.
Zach go down as a legend because he was like one of the first people who was going to hood recording people.
Not only one of the first, but what, first and the last? Because who's doing it out here? And how long could they keep that up before somebody get in their feelings and do something to them? It's a whole giant contradiction. First of all, you ain't supposed to be ratting yourself out on cameras anyway. Then when you want the attention, then the dude that give you the attention, he a problem for you now. Like, I don't understand y'all, man. Stupid shit. I think his death was some bullshit, some Chicago shit, man. Just some bullshit. Now, what happened after that is bloggers and the streets turned it into some more bullshit and blamed it on somebody that had shit to do with it. Because we ended up with 5 dudes that did it, that got off, 2 of them dead already, that got off because the state called it mutual combat, which don't make sense. Because again, like I said before, the state, the city, the streets, the internet, nobody gave a fuck about Zack TV. Zack TV made it his business to give a fuck about everybody and put everybody on a platform, but nobody gave a fuck about Zack TV. So just when I was about to wrap up the Zack TV series, I realized that one of the most incompetent YouTubers that covered this case while it was happening is back just a month ago with a new video about Zack TV. Let's see how much backtracking and bullshit goes on here.
Hey, what's going on, my good people? When it came to the death of Zack Stoner, aka Zack TV,
She's already sounding real soft and reverent. What happened to, if you think we just making conspiracy theories over here, well, that's what we do over here. What happened to all that confidence?
Hey, what's going on, my good people? When it came to the death of Zack Stoner, aka Zack TV, many of us wonder why. Why was he killed? And what happened the night that he died?
We know what happened the night he died. We know that T Streets and AMG Fresh didn't set him up. We know that there was no shooter by that tree that you was talking about. There was no tank car. Those are the things we know. All of the things that you didn't know then that you pretended you knew, those are the things we know now.
At least 5 guys were questioned in Zack's death investigation. These guys right here. But no one was arrested or charged with Zack's murder. Why not? And what was the motive? The streets of Chicago tried to tell us what happened. Let's take a look at their truth.
Their
Come on.
truth.
Ride with me.
Ride with me. Yo, you a clown
Zack
for
considered
real.
him when the death of Kanika Jenkins in Chicago shook the world. Zack jumped on the case.
This video shows Kanika Jenkins walking into the kitchen, but we never see her entering the freezer. And tonight, that is why her family is not satisfied with the theory that she walked into the freezer on her own.
That's what happened. If you drunk and you walk off a train platform onto the train tracks and there's no film, it's what happened. And imagine that, you know what I'm saying? You drunk, you open a door, you step through that door, you turn around, you realize you can't get back out that door. You probably realize it, don't realize you're in the freezer, whatever it is, you know you locked in. Stuck there, man. She didn't make it. It's like that little girl that was in that hotel, I believe in LA. Somehow she got up to the top and got into the water tank. Once you get down in there, there's nothing to grab onto or brace yourself against to get back out. Just stuck.
Some of us didn't know who Zack was until the Kanika case. And he used his platform, his resources, his skills, his connects to get exclusive interviews with people involved in Kanika's case. And some people speculated that's why he was killed, that he was getting too close to the truth in Kanika's case. But was that really the reason?
I don't know. You
Because
tell us, genius.
Chicago told us something different.
What they tell you?
So let's fast forward to the night Zack was murdered.
So he called me and he had somebody he wants to perform, and I'm like, bring him. You good?
So at the last minute, Zack was able to get T Streets and AMG Fresh in a show that night at the Refugee Lounge.
You mean the guys that you said set him up and killed him?
Zack TV was really at the event, really for T Streets and AMG Fresh.
That night, Zack would record T Streets and AMG Fresh live on stage at the Refugee Lounge. And sometime during that performance, things took a turn for the worse.
Yeah, according to you, they set him up and they killed him. Didn't we cover this already? She covering it now. The lady that condemned everybody involved. The lady that condemned everybody that was scrambling from the car, you know what I'm saying, that just lost their homeboy. The lady that blamed them, now she doing her research. Now she listening to new interviews 4 years later. But she was so thirsty to be number one, to be the first, that she got it all wrong and got these streets killed. She one of them. She one of them.
So much so that they wanted to ruin the show. And Zack, being the guy that he was trying to stop it. He was trying to look out for AMG Fresh. And in the process, he was shot and killed in a drive-by.
But I thought you said they was jealous of him. And they was jealous of him because he was getting them girls and he was getting money. Didn't you say all of that? Didn't you say that all of those people that was running around, I think they were shooting them, y'all. Look, there's shots in this video. Y'all convinced people there were shots in a video that there was no shots in. You convinced yourself. You stood on it that there was a dude by the tree shooting. You said, I still believe that. Even when somebody told you, hey man, there were no shots in that video, I still believe there was, because you foolish. You foolish. You was wrong with this whole situation. Straight drop done shut the up already, and you still running your mouth. But you won't go back and say I was wrong.
Zack took a bullet that was not meant for him. Zack was shot on May 30th at around 1:30 a.m. and he was pronounced dead around 3 hours later at 4:20 a.m.
I'd be like, damn, I should have just told him fucking no, and he would never been there.
Yeah.
He is absolutely correct.
You are absolutely incorrect. You are always incorrect. You a joke.
If only he would have told Zack no. Damn. When the news first broke about Zack's murder, a lot of us, myself included,
Absolutely yourself included.
tried to figure out what happened.
You didn't try to figure out shit. You ran your mouth with shit you didn't know about and somebody died about it. That's what happened.
Now, we didn't know what their involvement was, but we...
According to you, you did. According to you, it was a conspiracy theory. Everybody right there had something to do with it. There was a dude at the tree right there. He was shooting. Why? Where all that at?
And we spoke on it. Some people speculated that us bloggers got T Streets killed.
You did. You did. You were part of it. Go ahead and say, oh, but the streets trumped the internet. Miss me with that bullshit. Miss me with that bullshit. Okay? The streets and your ignorant asses all had a part in what happened to T Streets. Now, if T Streets died over something else, okay. But if T Streets died because people thought he set up Zack, that's y'all fault. That's y'all and the stupid motherfuckers in the street.
But that was not the truth. And the streets of Chicago already knew what it was.
Stop.
We just didn't know.
You full of shit. You full of shit. You didn't know nothing. According to you, your eyes saw a man standing there bussing at the car while they're all getting their stuff together and getting in the whip. I'm supposed to trust you, somebody who created something in her own eyes, or somebody pointed a little flashing nickel on the floor out to you, and as far as you was concerned, you saw a gunshot. I could never trust your testimony for nothing, ever.
Now, I will say this. I believe that Zack's murder weighed heavy on T Streets. And
you think so, you piece of shit? You think it helped that y'all was on his ass every day from the day that Zack died going forward? When he got on that camera and he did that live from the police station or from wherever he went to have that interview, he didn't say, "Oh, the streets is blaming me for this, that, or that." He said these bloggers. That's what he said.
I think T Streets was scared, which is why days after the murder, he ended up at the police station. And not only that, T Streets did it live. Pay attention to the lady in the background.
Pay attention to the lady what? You mean before we even get to it? Because I know what the lady said. The lady said, oh, he was a witness, blah, blah, blah. He wanted to come here to meet.
Here in the red shirt was the witness to the Zack TV shooting.
Oh, yeah.
750 South Park. Okay, so he's a witness to that. Delaney asked me to bring him up here.
Out here, that's central.
Because this is where they were willing to come. Oh, okay.
This is where they were willing to come. He was a witness. Yeah.
They when I got a phone call saying he wanted to come in, he didn't want to go to 51st. He wanted to come here.
Hey, see you once today.
Okay, couple things.
Couple things.
She said that she got a phone call from them, and T Streets was saying, you know, basically he wanted to come and talk because he was a witness to Zack's murder. And apparently they thought he should have went to another police station. 51st is what they said. But T Streets didn't want to go there. I wonder why.
Why?
Maybe he felt safer going to that one. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he got heat with cops in his area. Maybe he got this, that, that. You don't know. You still running your fucking mouth. The man's dead.
But think about this. If AMG Fresh and hell, maybe even T Streets were the targets and the suspects missed their targets and killed Zack, what if T Streets just thought that these same guys would come back and try to kill him? He feared for his life, and rightfully so.
He feared y'all putting a scarlet letter on him. He feared everybody believing what you bloggers and you dummies on the block was saying about him setting up his best friend. That's what he feared.
Because days after going into that police station, T Streets would film his last live in the backseat of a car with at least 3 other guys. And shortly after that, T Streets was found dead in the streets of Chicago.
With all the help from 54 Keys, Straight Drop, and a whole bunch of other piece of shit bloggers that want to sit on the internet and play investigator. Plus, dummies in the street that go with the simplest explanation possible. Man, they was there. He must have set him up. Shut the up.
Zack was killed first in May of 2018. Then T Streets was killed in June of 2018. That only left AMG Fresh, who would later be gunned down in Indiana in October of 2019. Now all 3 are gone. It's a sad situation. But in my opinion, it just confirmed that T Street's murder had nothing to do with no bloggers.
It confirms it?
Zack's murder had nothing to do with Kanika.
Whatever makes you feel better. Whatever makes you feel better about yourself at night, which I know that to this day, you think to yourself, damn, did I get T Streets killed? Because you're still talking about it and you're still exonerating yourself of the guilt and saying, so it makes me feel like even more today that bloggers had nothing to do with it. You want to feel that because it eats you inside that you got T Streets killed. That's it.
And if you ask some of the people in Chicago, who would know?
You like to say some of the people in Chicago, they send me emails. A Michigan sending you an email. A Naperville sending you an email. What you know? There's dummies everywhere that are just going to open their mouth, that are going to just say whatever. But you're going to take the information that makes you feel better, that makes you feel like you didn't get a man killed and some kids orphaned.
This is what they'll tell you.
You know how the YouTube conspiracy things go crazy. And I don't know if the girl you just named that passed away was the girl that was in the freezer.
Yeah, Kanika Jenkins.
Yeah, and so some people was like, well, he was reporting on it too much. And it was pressure like, hey, you digging in it too much. And that was possibly the reason why he was gunned down.
Hell
no. You very much, 54 Keys. You very much, Straight Drop. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Y'all gonna have to live with that L. I think we all know by this point what happened. His friends didn't set him up. He got caught up in some Chicago shit. One group saw another group, saw all it takes in this city. What happened after that was a lot of people talking without knowing, and a lot of irresponsible journalism from a bunch of hood buggers that don't know what the they're talking about. At the end of the day, I hope Chicago never forgets Zack TV for what he did and what he wanted to do. Also, we realized that the streets didn't give a shit about Zack TV. The city of Chicago didn't give a fuck about Zack TV. The state of Illinois didn't give a fuck about Zack TV. Because at the end of the day, the people that murdered him were let off on some mutual combat. If you ask me, mutual combat is if I decide and you decide, we gonna go at it. And clearly that wasn't the case with Zack TV. He was just trying to protect himself and his friends. So for the people that did love Zack TV, keep his memory alive. And to any of you shorties that happen to run into these Zack TV videos or run into these videos, use Zack TV as an inspiration to do something bigger and better with yourself than just what everybody else is doing. I believe if he would have got out of here, he would have survived. Also, people, learn not to run your mouths with information that you don't know about, with things that you don't know about. You get people killed, and you don't want to have that on your conscience. That said, long live Zack TV. Rest in peace, T Streets and AMG Fresh.